What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here, and this one we're going to be talking about what some Michigan football players are saying as Ernest Hausman talks about the standard set at Michigan and the team's culture. Also, how Mike Sainristil is setting the example for the defensive back room. We also got some huge NIL news for Michigan. There's also some beef between an Ohio State assistant coach and a Michigan assistant coach. And we're going to end the video by talking about the defense and how they were doing in the spring. It's all going to be in this video, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so I first want to start this video by talking about what some Michigan football players are saying. I first want to start with Ernest Hausman, the linebacker transfer from Nebraska. He impressed a lot of people in the spring game. He clearly has talent. He should be a key piece to the Michigan defense this upcoming season. But talking about transferring into Michigan, according to On3 and the Rivalry, he said one of the things that caught my eye was the demeanor of the strength staff. He said, I felt like it fit who I was as a person. He said, us players were in the facility a lot. And he said, most of the development is on the field, but there's another side of us as a man that has to develop. He said, I just felt like the strength staff, that's part of their development. Talking about Coach Ben Herbert, Hausman said that he stresses the importance of little details. And he also talked about the standard set at Michigan. He said, this team that we have here has definitely set a standard. It's the whole building. Everyone is in it for that one common goal. That standard is set. He said, the first day when I came in here, this was the standard that was set. This was the only way we can improve as a team. There was no shyness about it. This is how it is. And they said we've got to make sure each day that we do what we do to put us in the best position. That's what Ernest Hausman had to say about transferring into Michigan and the Michigan team culture right now. And I also want to talk about Mike Sainristil, as he appears to be setting the example for Michigan at the defensive back position. Michigan cornerback Will Johnson sat down with the Michigan Insider and talked about Sainristil and his leadership. He said he's the example that you want to look at. He does everything in the right way on and off the field. He said when you turn on the film, he's always doing the right thing and always going really hard. He's somebody that you look at to learn more about and get advice from. He also said that we definitely play well together and we disguise a lot of things, different looks, and our coaches always have us really prepared. He also talked about new linebackers coach Chris Partridge. He said he's super smart, super energetic, and I said it's definitely a different level of coaching that we added to our defense. He said, I think our defensive coaches have us very prepared, so we play well together. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is some new NIL news. Now, this came out about a couple weeks ago. I never mentioned it on this channel or in a video, but Michigan actually just got an NIL boost from Hail Impact. It's Hail Impact, and it is a new nonprofit organization that has actually already raised a significant amount of money. Now, Michigan has definitely been taking steps in the right direction with NIL as of lately. Now, Hail Impact is founded by Ross Business School grads Chin Wirapoli and Andy Johnson, and Hail Impact will provide participating scholarship football players a chance to earn NIL money, also while aiming to help out the community and educate the athletes. Now, the goal for Hail Impact is to raise $5 million to provide up to $40,000 for each player on the football team. The football players will be paid to do 24 hours of community service, as well as educational seminars related to branding, financial literacy, and tax planning. So basically what this means is players, as long as they meet the requirements and do everything they are asked to do, they could all earn up to $40,000 in NIL money. Now, doing this for the football team is a short-term goal. However, the long-term goal for Hail Impact is to also expand the fundraising to other Michigan athletic teams, not just the football team. But this is huge NIL news for the Michigan football team. It should definitely help along with recruiting, so that if you do come here to Michigan and play football, you can automatically earn up to $40,000 along with everybody else on the team, as long as you do the requirements. So let me know what you guys think about the new NIL news for Michigan and the new nonprofit organization from Hail Impact. And then real quick here before we do go ahead and talk about the defense in spring ball and how they are looking before the regular season starts, I want to talk about some beef between a Michigan coach and an Ohio State assistant coach. So on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast show with Will Compton and Taylor Lewan, they sat down and talked with Ohio State offensive coordinator Brian Hartline. And since Brian Hartline also goes by Coach Hart, Lewan said, "You go by Coach Hart, there's another Coach Hart in the Big Ten," and Hartline said, "Oh, there is." Lewan later asked who would win in a tussle or a fight, and Hartline responded with, "Me. Oh yeah, any offensive coordinator in the country, they're all losing." So later in the day, when that video was released, Mike Hart actually tweeted something on Twitter that probably was an indirect response to Hartline's comments. He posted a photo and it said, "A wolf doesn't concern himself with the opinions of sheep." So a little bit of beef there between Coach Mike Hart and Ohio State coach Brian Hartline. Obviously, Michigan has beaten Ohio State 45-27 and 45-23 the last two seasons. Next year should be another great matchup, probably a little bit even more heated in the rivalry next year as Ohio State returns to Michigan. So now I want to talk about the defense for Michigan, how they're doing in spring, and also how they did in the spring game and some takeaways from them. First off, the defensive line was phenomenal in the spring game. Defensive line was already good last season with freshman Mason Graham, Mozzie Smith on the interior, and Mike Morris on the edge. But our defensive line this year may be even better than last season's, and it all starts with Chris Jenkins, the senior who came back for another last year here at Michigan, and he's been taking his workouts and everything, his training, to a different level this season. Chris Jenkins is also not the only one though. Mason Graham, who is probably one of the best interior linemen on the team now and in college football. He's only a sophomore, but he has also been taking his workouts to another level. Kenneth Grant, Rashawn Benny are also having great springs right now. Kenneth Grant is just a big boy all around, and I mean he's also seen in the spring game just knocking one of our offensive linemen down on the ground, as well as incoming transfer from Coastal Carolina and edge Josiah Stewart. He did the same thing, and a lot of people were blown away by his pass rushing ability this spring. Josiah Stewart, another one who should have a great season, along with senior Jalen Harrell. Now there's one concern on defense, and mainly one concern on the whole team, and that is who will be the other corner. We expected a lot more from Amorion Walker in the spring game. He clearly has the talent, he's got the athletic ability, but he obviously has some more learning to do at the cornerback position. Still has, the whole rest of the offseason to get better, and also a couple tune-up games once the regular season non-conference play starts. But definitely that is one of the question marks on this team. But as far as the other parts of the defense goes, linebacker position, really good, a lot of talent there. Defensive line, really good. Just the main thing right now is who will be that other cornerback aside Will Johnson. If we can just figure that out and, find somebody to be aside Will Johnson, we should have no problems on defense. Defense should probably even be better than last season's defense. But other than that, that's gonna pretty much wrap up today's video. Not a whole lot going on, just want to touch up on a couple things that's going on. But other than that, hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you are new. I greatly appreciate it. Other than that, hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. We will see you guys in the next video. Peace.